Okay, how did I increase my leptin? What am I doing to continue to increase it so I can live the lifestyle I want? I did a course, an entire course on leptin reset, an entire course on circadian rhythm, just from practitioners I found online. I'm not gonna pretend that this is a doctor. I'm a registered nurse. This is not medical advice. This is not any of those things. I just believe other people who go through really hard things find the answer and share that, and it changed my life. So I'm hoping other people can find those resources if they need it, basically. The biggest things were changing when I ate, what I ate a little bit, circadian rhythm, habits for sleep, and now the last thing is like this mental side I'm learning that is the true underlying culprit for me specifically. So a typical day used to be fasting, like everything I told you, right? Fasting, working out, going crazy, overtraining out the ass. Now I wake up and the first thing I do is I see sun. You can get these cool apps that show you when sun rises, when UVA rises, and when UVB rises, because those are 3 different times during the day. So I wake up when there's no blue light in the sky and it's just red light, and it clears the melatonin from my brain and tells all my hormones to come online and gets everything going for the day, right? So I see sunlight, I eat fat and protein breakfast, bacon and eggs every day, and then my coffee after I eat breakfast. And I usually it's UVA rise by that time. I go sit out on the porch and I drink my coffee. Or if I'm going to work, I crack my window and I get UV light basically in my eyes, and that tells your body how much cortisol to make and not to go crazy with it. Like, it's okay, this time of day we're just starting, we only need this much, and then we're gonna peak out because I ate food and I like blunted that cortisol response, right? So I'm not feeling rizzed out. I'm not running on caffeine and spite like I used to. Big transition, been real hard, but that's what I've been doing, and it did help. I can't pretend it didn't. And then I eat 3 meals now. I would like to go down to eating 2 meals a day because that's just easier for me, but like I can feel my body get stressed out when I start to go longer in between meals. And I eat carbs. I have a very sensitive stomach. I can only eat rice like once a week, but I eat potatoes, sweet potatoes. I followed the advice of seasonal and local as much as possible. I cannot always get my produce like from a local source, so I'm trying more and more here, but I look up what is seasonal in my area. I'm in Denver, Colorado, and eat that. So it's been a lot of potatoes, sweet potatoes. Now I'm eating strawberries and blueberries, which actually I can eat, which is really great. Dates during the winter, and I always be eating chocolate. That's need that. But like super dark chocolate I can eat, and I eat 3 meals a day. I've monitored calories without restricting. I tried to reverse diet and it just didn't work. There's just a certain number that my body's just been able to maintain, and I've dropped under that number without trying to when I was just trying to be intuitive, like 300-400 calories, and I would gain weight. And so I was like 1 or 2 pounds, it's like it would stress my body out. And so I'm like, oh, we're not ready for that. And then I look at my leptin and it went down lower. So like my body's still in a survival mode because of that. So like I'm keeping calories the same. If I do something really arduous or go for a really big hike or whatever, or once or twice a week for a refeed day, I'll eat like 200 or 300 calories over that. And it's kind of crazy for my brain because I've been a chronic, like in a deficit girly, trying to recomp girly. And this is the first time that I'm just like, until my leptin is where it needs to be, that my body feels safe and would actually let go of that and feel safe to, not gonna do it. So we're just keeping calories where they've been. And then at sunset, I put on my blue light blockers. If I'm at work, if I'm in the ICU, if I'm at a hospital, if I'm wherever I'm at, I put on my blue light blockers. Usually I try to watch sunset, get out there for that. I also suntan. I love suntanning. I lay out in the sun as much as possible. I ground as much as possible. I touch the earth. I put on my blue light blockers, and then all my lights in my house are circadian flicker free now, besides this really big ring light that's staring at me and I hate it. We create a very mellow environment. As soon as the sun goes down, I stop. I'm done working. My brain stops. I can't really get anything done. And I just relax with Logan and my dog and chill out and try to go sleep like a baby. I actually can stay up till like 10:30 now, but when I first started this, like when I first started the circadian stuff back when I was crashing so hard, Logan would say I have sundowners because I would put on my blue light blockers, the sun would go down, I'd fall asleep on the couch. And he literally saw me go from being up all night crying because my body was in so much pain from not sleeping to falling asleep that quick and staying asleep until the sun came up. Like, and I can go into like all the science behind it and your suprachiasmatic nucleus and how that all works. Like, I love nerding out about it now, but that's basically the main things. I stopped lifting because I tried to go lift weights and I would just get like, I would be in pain. Like, it felt like my body getting pulled to the floor, like before I was medicated for hypothyroidism. And I was like, it's not good. It's just like my body can't handle that stress yet. And it's been so freaking hard not lifting and not going to jujitsu because those are my favorite things. But I've had to stop. I'm doing body weight workouts. I can hit pads and I can hike. So that's what I've been doing this past year. And that's what like my leptin has slowly been climbing. I've gone through stressful stuff, but I feel like we're getting to a good place. But the mental side is what I'm realizing is kind of holding me back. I'll just tell you some cool tools I have. I do believe in grounding, the frequency of the earth, the Schumann resonance, the geomagnetic flux, the air breathing, I think are amazing tools. You can meditate with that, you should ground, you should breathe with the earth just to experience that. But in day to day, it's hard to make that like an everyday thing. Even though I try to, I lay out, whatever. We have grounding sheets from Intuition Physician. She hand makes everything. She's freaking amazing. I got her little grounding like tool, and I'll do a video of like where I ground and don't. I'm really excited about that. We have grounding sheets. So we have like the part of the bed we lay on and grounds us to the earth, and we have the grounding cord that gets rid of like dirty electricity. So we sleep on that. I have a reverse osmosis water machine, and then we remineralize our water with that because detoxing is a huge part of this. Sauna. I go to the sauna a lot, which it kind of blew my mind. I've used the sauna when I was in the Marine Corps, kind of hated it because I didn't want to cut weight anymore. But I saw how it can detox and help your body feel safe and like relaxed. Last year, I would go to the sauna with Logan and we'd sit in there for 30 minutes. I would start sweating when we were leaving. My body was so clamped down, which is like not letting anything go. I sit in there for 10 minutes and I am just leaking now, and it's so gross, but it's so great. I'm like watching these changes of like, I couldn't even sweat, and it's like 160 degree sauna, infrared sauna, because my body was so clammed up and just like anxious and messed up. And now I can get in there and just pour buckets, and it feels so good, and I feel relaxed after, and I don't feel like wrecked. I've really gotten into detox, like not detoxing, but supporting the detox pathways my body has. So I take milk thistle occasionally. It's like a liver support. Stay really hydrated, and then lymphatic massages, and make sure you're pooping every day. That's literally, if you want to get rid of hormones and toxic waste and actually detox, shit. That's all I'll say about that. Those are my tools. I know that seems really weird, but those, like, that is what has been changing my life. And it's mostly like the biggest thing is being aligned with the sun, being aligned with the circadian rhythm. We are in non-native EMF under fluorescent flicker lights 24/7, and it stresses your body out. And when you have so much stuff up here stressing you out, it compounds. So the part of where my leptin dropped back down, and seeing that like this mental part of you really affects stuff, right? And I could make a 12-hour video on my mental health over the past 10 years and what PTSD has done with me. I think I can push through anything. I've struggled with PTSD to the point that I would just be having flashbacks as I was like walking down a street or going running, and I'd have like panic attacks where I would find myself on the side of the road tasting a Glock. It's been bad. It's been really bad sometimes. I feel like if you just keep pushing, like you'll get through it. And that's kind of what I've always done, and it kind of works. So like, why fix it if it's not broken? But I've gotten through all those by overtraining, isolating, and over-caffeinating. I've run on hate and discontent, and it worked great till it didn't. And once I hit this burnout where I just physically couldn't do those things and push through, I felt so at a loss, and all those things that I would use to cope, like the things I was coping from, overwhelmed me. I've done a lot of therapy. I've done talk therapy, equine therapy. I have a service dog for my panic attacks. She's amazing. But I guess I just didn't see, I thought I was really disciplined. I thought I was like, I get up and I go to the gym and I count every calorie and I do this. But it was like compulsiveness. Like if I didn't do those things, I wasn't okay. I just had to. There was no choice, which I guess some people think is discipline. But once I couldn't do those and I was trying to like escape my own mind, I got really into scrolling on Instagram. And I've always spent a good amount of time on the CIA declassified document website for funsies. But then I got like really into that, and like, and the world was a little crazy right now, and a lot of stuff came out, and so it was really easy to get lost in that. And then just seeing how wrecked my nervous system is, especially being in a relationship where I can't like hide it, and when someone's treating you so well and nice and you're kind of lashing out. And I was never mean or like actually screaming or being bad, but it was just like this internal thing that I'm like, why do I feel this way? Why am I angry? Why does this annoy me? Why can't I be around him? Why am I just frustrated sitting in the same room as him? And I was like, oh, my nervous system's wrecked. And I've done a couple different things that had like stopped, like literally calmed my nervous system. Ketamine was one of them. CST therapy, craniosacral therapy, which is like a massage technique. Actually, like my physical nervous system chilled out. But there's just this mental side where I'm like, I stress myself out because I ruminate on things. And this is where I'm starting to think I might have ADHD. I've been told by many people I should get tested. I got tested for autism, and they told me I had severely undertreated PTSD, but it was also a student psychiatrist at the VA during COVID, and it was all, I don't think it was really well done, because all they did was ask me about childhood stuff and I was homeschooled, and I was like, they're like, did you get up a lot? Did you get yelled at in class? I was like, I did my homework outside and no one yelled at me. Well, they did, but like not during school. So like it was just, I don't think it really applied. So I'm gonna try to get tested for that, because like I found myself on these rumination patterns. Body dysmorphia gets really bad when I can't go do these things and like get that dopamine hit. And my brain just kind of goes like it picks something negative. And instead of like seeking dopamine by like eating food, or I mean I do seek dopamine by scrolling on Instagram. I have to delete that app constantly. I ruminate on something. Like I think of the worst thing that ever happened to me, or how bad I looked in the mirror, or something that Logan did that made me mad, and I'm just like on it, and I get hyped up and mad, and I'm like, oh, now I'm ready to go, and I go do things, and I'm like, oh, I'm like negatively reinforcing myself to do things. I need a lot more help mentally than I thought. Like I wasn't a good routine of meditating, and that does help. And I think mastering your own mind is going to be the biggest thing for this. So I'm going to get tested for ADHD, because I do think having another tool to help me get going could be great. And if that's medication, great, whatever. I've done psychedelic therapy, and because of how traumatic this year was, I've stepped away from it because I just didn't want to add more fuel to the fire. But light's dying. I don't like, there's no way to sum this up. It's just, it's learning discipline in a different way. Being mindful of the time I spend on Instagram. I just delete the app. I'm like, if I can't be disciplined, I'm deleting the app. I am a practicing witch. That doesn't mean what people think it means. It's a lot different. But when I am consistent with my practice, which is mostly through gratitude, it makes a difference in my life. And a lot of therapy hasn't worked. I do want to try ketamine therapy again, but it's like being conscious of your nervous system and finding those things that ground you, and making the effort to go do the CST therapy. Understanding that like this isn't going to change overnight, and the discipline of like, I'm not going back to jujitsu until I feel better, until my leptin shows me I'm better, and I know I have the capacity for that. So it's like compassion for myself without being like, oh, it's been so hard for you. Being like, no, you're not ready. Like you have to work for that a little harder. Like not harder. You have to be patient. That's the word. You have to be patient a little longer before you can get to that. Like you have to be fully ready to do that. My light's dying, so I think this is the end of this one. But if you have no peace in your head, there will be no peace in your body. And I love chaos. I've thrived in it in the past, but I see it was a coping mechanism. And I was trying to change my source from tapping into this darkness and this anger to just being joyful and only doing things that make me happy. But I was still cutting off a part of myself. And I think I'm finally seeing that I can be a very dark, angry person and pull energy from that when I need to, but that depth should be able to be reached on the other side by light. I should be able to be so happy and free doing something that fills my cup and pushes me forward as well. I don't need to cut off one end of the spectrum. And that's where I think the balance of mental health is like, I don't have to be okay all the time, as in like being happy and everything's fine. I can tap into this dark energy because I've been on this side of my life for a long time and use it well, but I don't have to stay there. And as soon as I can come out to this side, I can use this energy and have fun and put on my glitter and have a great day. And I think that's truly where I'm actually going to have a healthy mental status and like feel safe. I don't have to constantly be striving to be okay and be happy and something's wrong with me. It's just like, oh, these are the side effects of these chronic illnesses, including PTSD. And I know how to navigate that pretty well, and I'll just navigate them until I'm on smoother waters. Yeah. And maybe some microdosing meth for ADHD, that might help too. But we'll see. We will continue this journey. So for the next 3 months, I'm just going to start lifting, continue eating the same way, seeing the sun, and being as unhinged as I fucking want. Okay,